Okay, hear me out on this. Tell me if you think I have a right to get the heebie-jeebies about it. If this is correlated or tied together, because a while back I was talking about in another video how some of the co-ops for the growing marijuana that they had a strain that had been in a laboratory altered to produce a more potent kind of THC, and it would induce a thyroid overpowering event. Basically, you smoke this weed, this hyper THC overrode the thyroid gland. It was too overpowered it, and it caused screaming, like an involuntary reaction, and you would throw up. So people would be screaming and throwing up, and it had Soros involved with it. Soros is behind like a myriad of things that you could even just speculate, right? But that was his. It was like, anyways, I'm just trying to stop, because don't make that the whole point of it. What I'm trying to say is, like, later on, it was a story again, and it was in more than one blog and more than one social media news platform that they were talking about, that people had experienced Scromit, and it was because they smoked too much, and they didn't say anything about the thyroid. Okay, forget about Soros. They didn't say anything about the thyroid. Whoa. Like purposefully coming up with these stories to omit anything about the thyroid. Okay, and then finally they followed up, right? Seeing more and more Primal Scream videos on, like, not me, but they're coming over from TikTok, because I don't look at TikTok. I don't have a TikTok account, but they're coming over from, what's the other one? I don't know. There's like maybe more than one. Little short videos, and Primal Scream Therapy. Someone on a yoga mat, on all, down on all fours, screaming and having a back rub at the same time. And it's a therapist, and they're like, "Scream, go ahead, get it all out, get it all out." Isn't that engrossing on vomit? I'm not saying it's a conspiracy, because obviously those people are just caught up in whatever entity that is over this whole development, this whole scenario. There's an entity that sits over this shit, because whether or not you want to admit it, an entity is just a partnership or a group of people, a buildup or of some form of residue. And it could be a isotope, like a trace element of something in a homeopathic solution, where it's just like you took out all of this substance, but it still leaves a trace that is it's a programming, like the water has a certain, like, program, like you can say that it's a dynamic about the water that has a little tiny bit of bleach dropped into it. You know what I mean? They're not telling you is that you can drink that. You know what I mean? But apply this evenly, this concept. Because an entity points to a human being, somebody thinks that you're trying to besmirch their opinion, get somebody fired, oh my God, and you're not one of ours. Like, and plus because has a D behind his, in front of, or something like a D, like a Democrat, instead of an R, or something like that, where they're caught up on a dichotomy, like they're caught up on a little, like a left versus right brain, and you're being separated from reason, like you're being separated from one hemisphere of your brain, because that's as far as you go. You understand? It's not about besmirching your opinion. And if you think that's as far as it goes, is to besmirch, then like, what if it was like your friend or somebody like that who smoked some weed, and not only did they have a thyroid gland override, but the medical and like everybody's telling them it's your fault. You know what I mean? I mean, science and boosh. You know what I mean? Mind blowing. It's like you're trying to brainwash me when you tell me science. But really, you just want to remind me that it's impossible. I can't brainwash you. That's like immaterial argumentation. You know what I mean? It's like besides the point. You know what I mean? It's not about whether I can brainwash you or not. It's, you know, it's about, do you think that you are being brainwashed when you're being asked to disseminate and assess for yourself, because it's adverse to what you're normally used to doing, which is have somebody tell you what to think. And they don't like hearing it. They don't like hearing it. But I mean, it's not honest to make them process. You just have to feel for them in a situation where they stop and they can't process, because they're not getting they're not getting the conveyance or to be able to transmit neuroplasticity. That's as far as I'm gonna go. That's as far as I'm gonna go and try and explain this shit. Because Kanye is against those kind of people, huh? I could just see it now. Kanye, if he was there, like on the syndicated like courtroom channel show where they said like they came back with DNA results and they were like, he's not the baby, you know what I mean? And then the father is like, you know, he feels like he's been cheated on, and he feels really empathy for the child, right? And he sits there and cries by himself, and everybody's rubbing the mom's back, and she's screaming and going hollering like a damn animal because she found out that dude's not the father. You know what I mean? His like bittersweet, like, oh, I'm free from this wench, but like that child is gonna be like, you know, messed off. So I don't have to raise that kid. So look, it goes further than that. I didn't know cortisol was specific to women, but you can measure cortisol in a neighborhood. You can try to give the neighborhood a rating. It makes sense that if there are enough women that are at wit's end trying to get help with their raising kids and everything, it's like it's not a good place to raise kids because nobody's helping those women raise their kids. And it seems not arbitrary, it seems profiling or something or whatever, you know what I mean? But they can use this for the stats. They can use it for the stats. And it's a hormone that balances your body's, it protects you against stress wearing down your organs, your skin, your organs and everything. And it has to be balanced. There's commercials out right now telling people specifically just to lower it. You know, just lower it. Just lower it. Don't look at and see and disseminate and assess where your cortisol is at. Just always lower it. Just always lower it. And when it comes to your immune system, just boost it. Just boost it. Every year you gotta boost. Every company come out with it and boosting again. We're calling it boosting so that you look like a fool because we're not liable. See. We're not liable. You has to be dumb and stupid in order to be criminal. And if you're not, then they have to take responsibility for you somewhere with the hegemonic power. They're vying for hegemonic power, and when it's like King Richard off on conquest, and fucking sheriff of Luxley is fucking take over in the stead of King Richard. And that's dealing with hegemony in Cam's lot. Camelot is Cam's lot. It's raw hell. Why would you want to go through Cam's lot? It's the lot of Cam. It's you know, like drawing straws is for splitting the burden, or the lots. They call it lots. But it's a science. There's 22 degrees in the Knights of Malta, art of the Knights Templar, involving a mystery system that is trying to and win a race for the opening up of Camelot in the West, and it's between the Brits and the United States for different reasons that I guess. But maybe we picked up where they didn't think that, you know what I'm saying, like we picked it up over here, what they were trying to do as far as the royals and everything, and we kind of tried to do that in the Democrats, the Kennedys, and Jackie Onassis was Camelot, and then the Obamas and Michelle is just Camelot. You know, it's just strange, man, because it's like a I don't know. I don't know. Did I say I wasn't gonna explain shit anymore somewhere? There's a round table in Cam's lot. But you know why it's a round table? The same reason that chakras are round balls too. Because it's the rolling over of determinism into austerity, and which an age of austerity led to the people becoming esoteric in order to facilitate, not to facilitate, but it's something the aristocracy wanted to bring about in the proletariat. They wanted us to eventually become esoteric. If you can understand this shit, I don't really have a full grasp on the art history, you know, to tell you the meaning, you know. I just keep like looking back there, like Doors and the Explorer or something. People are gonna think you're this weird, like, yes, but it's this place, and like it seems so real, and like you were there too. Yeah, but you were though. It's a pre-Diluvian, Typhonian dream work where you were new work before the fall of Atlantis, and it's the fall of man, and the pyramids were after the fall of man. So when the pyramids were there, the fall of man had already ensued. And all right, that's kind of, I don't like the format that this is coming to me in. I mean, because it's just stuff that I think I know is cataloged, but it doesn't flow. It don't flow right as far as solving for a point or something like that. This is like more a video journal than a vlog, because I'm learning shit. I'm learning stuff. And I might have to confer with the guy that, because sometimes you're supposed to be careful when you look at New Age mystery science religions that combine all religions, but you have to want to investigate the most far out strewn conspiracy theories, like, you know what I mean, because it's if you're worried about what your enemies think about you, that is generating weakness that they can call upon. They can get energy from you. They can call upon that energy. And it's only weakness that is created at the moment that you worried about what your enemies think about you. It's a trip. It's a trip. So there might be some paradoxical things going on, and I gotta slow down because I might miss them. I mean, I've been allowed to ramble this long, which is also interesting thing. I gotta check myself. Just end the video.